What's going on, guys? Shane here. So, I'm in cold and rainy Philadelphia right now, and I cannot wait to go back home to California, but there's some really big fights on tomorrow, and I wanted to share with you some of my predictions and things to consider when watching the fights. We have the return of Ronda Rousey against the champ Amanda Nunes, and Cody Garbrandt trying to take that title away from Dominick Cruz. Now, as you read in the title of this video, yes, I do think that Ronda Rousey is going to lose in this fight. Let me explain why. I don't know how many of you guys have actually competed or lost or been knocked out in a fight. It's a terrible feeling, as you can imagine, but multiply that feeling by, I don't know, 1 million, right? Many people considered Ronda Rousey invincible, and she even probably thought that at some point. Then 13 months ago, Holly Holm comes around and knocks her out in brutal fashion. Kicks her in the head, takes her out, finishes her with some punches in the ground and pound. And next thing you know, the people who were the biggest fans of Ronda Rousey so quickly jump off the bandwagon and are creating Instagram pictures comparing her knocked out body to Sloth from the Goonies. Now imagine how that makes you feel. You go on your Instagram account and that's all you see in your feed is pictures of you being knocked out and videos of you getting kicked in the head from Super Saiyan Holly Holm, right? Terrible feeling. Ronda Rousey was saying that she felt suicidal, that she didn't want to fight anymore. She didn't want to compete. Now, these are real feelings. She's a real person. People forget about this because she's in front of the camera or she's a fighter or whatever. These mental, psychological woes get in the way. They really do. They really do. And people have just now started to consider it with Conor McGregor coming into the scene and talking about things like this. But these are serious, serious things that you need to consider. If we're talking about stylistically, physically, I would give this fight to Ronda Rousey. I would, against Amanda Nunes. I think she has the better clinch, better takedowns, the better grappling. Both of their striking are below average. They are. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not trying to offend them, but if I were to say that they were good strikers, I'd be offending fighters like Joanna, right? So, talking about the physical aspects, I do give the edge to Ronda Rousey. Amanda Nunes is more patient in her footwork. She does step back. Ronda does great against pressure fighters because then she can clinch up. She can use her world-class judo and take her down and do what she does best. Nunes has a powerful right hand, though it's not the most accurate, and she does tend to lean. But again, I think if she lands a couple of shots or even just one big one, Rousey's going to have that flashback, right? She doesn't want this to happen. She's talked about this in interviews, too, where she's already considering this her last fight, and that's fine. You know, maybe this is her last fight, but that's not something you say publicly for your opponent to hear, right? She's already looking past this and considering retirement, and that says a lot. It really does. So, just some takeaways from this, guys, is you know, if you consider yourself a fighter, if you're an aspiring fighter, and you haven't considered the possibility or the chance of you losing a fight or getting knocked out, you may want to, because it's going to come as a shock when it happens. You know, when people are like, I think I'm going to take up fighting, I think I'm going to become an MMA fighter, they picture them holding the belt and some guy laying at their feet. They don't consider the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it, the ups and downs, and this happens. Now, I teamed up with the man who I consider my mentor, Vinnie Bellucci, and he wrote an article about this. It's on the fighttips.com website, which we have revamped, and we're still working on it. It's still a work in progress. Links in the description below. I'd love for you guys to check it out. He's going to give some great insight, and I promise you guys are going to appreciate it. Who do I think is going to win the fight against Garbrandt and Cruz? I'm going Cruz. Easy. Not that it's guaranteed. Of course, nothing's guaranteed in a fight, but his superior footwork, I think, is going to make it very challenging for Garbrandt. I think the guys at Alpha Male have great strategies. They're awesome wrestlers, but I mean, shout out to Darion Caldwell training with Cruz. You know, Cruz is no slouch in the wrestling game either. I think he's going to be a moving target, and it's going to be very hard for Cody to catch him. I see a very frustrating fight for Cody, but overall a decision win for Cruz. Guys, let me know what you think. Comment in the comment section below. I want to hear some of your predictions. Say, Shane, you are completely wrong, or Shane, I agree with you. I'm curious to hear. Let's start a conversation. Thanks for watching, guys. I got to hop on this flight in a couple hours, get back to California, so by the time you see this video, I'll probably be in the sun. Until next time, I'm Shane with Fight Tips. Self-defense for the underdogs.